What's up guys, it's Katie, and I'm going to be reviewing and recapping Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 5. If you are not caught up, get out of here, because you don't want to be spoiled. And if you are not subscribed to me, please hit that subscribe button right there, so you don't miss out on any of my recap reviews. There's only one episode left of Game of Thrones. Alright guys, well, as you know, if you watched my recap review from last week, you know that I was super frustrated with the episode. And if I was frustrated with last week's episode, this week I am very disappointed. I am very, very disappointed. There were a lot of really cool moments and some moments that I really liked, but I was a little disappointed with a lot of things. So the episode starts off and we have Varys, and he is writing on a scroll, basically, that Jon is the rightful heir to the Iron Throne. We see a little girl come in and we can tell, oh, okay, that little girl is one of his spies. Great. We get to see one, cool. We then get a scene between Tyrion and Varys and Jon, and they're talking about how Dany is so distraught and just been locked up in a room and she won't eat and she's so upset. And I'm like, wow, well, why is she so upset? Like, I get it, they killed Missandei, which is her friend, I get it. But Drogo died, she didn't go and not eat and lock herself away. She like used that to fuel herself forward to get what she wanted. You know, she lost 2 of her dragons. But I guess she's fully gone crazy now. And basically she locked herself up there and just won't eat, and okay. Varys tells Jon that he knows and that, you know, he's the rightful heir, you know, he should be the king, and Jon's like, I don't want it, she's my queen. We did get a really cool scene between Tyrion and Dany where, you know, I was really hoping Tyrion would be able to advise her. I'm like, come on, actually advise her. I know you think she's just gonna go kill you. She probably would at this point. At least try to advise her. But he's going in there to tell her that Varys betrayed her, and she's like, no, it was Jon. Tyrion's like, it was Varys. And she says, well, Varys found out because you told him, and Sansa told you, and Jon told Sansa. I told Jon not to tell Sansa. All right, come on. Like, she has honestly lost it right now. I'm not cool with it. Later on, Tyrion does tell her, you know, let's try to make them surrender. If you hear the bells ring, that means they're surrendering and they're gonna open the gates to us. At least do that. I guess he's trying, but it feels so out of character for Tyrion. I don't know why he's being like so complacent watching Dany spiral. She's literally spiraling and no one is there to, I guess, help guide her anymore? I have no idea. She also tells Tyrion that they've captured Jaime because he was trying to get back to Cersei. So then eventually we get on over to King's Landing via boat. The army has been marching that way for a couple episodes. We have a really funny moment between the Hound and Arya where the guard's like, oh, what you guys doing? And Arya's like, I'm here to kill Cersei. And he's like, I'm gonna have to talk to someone about that. And they just march right on in. I did like that moment. I thought it was funny. A nice little humorous moment before all the bloodshed, I guess. We did get a really nice scene between Jaime and Tyrion because Tyrion basically enlisted the help of Davos to smuggle him in to see Jaime, which he does. Smuggler. Basically, Tyrion tells Jaime, you need to go to Cersei. You need to save her. You need to get out of here. Go start a new life elsewhere. Take the boat that's, you know, go out this way. Take the boat. You guys will be fine. There won't be an Iron Fleet left, so you won't have to worry, and just get out of there, save yourself. And they have this really nice moment where they hug each other and basically say their goodbyes. We knew Tyrion was gonna free Jaime. He had to. I mean, I love their relationship. I've loved it from the beginning. It's even better in the books. Jaime had freed Tyrion once upon a time, and now Tyrion was returning the favor, and I really liked that. So now we get to see King's Landing readying for a battle. We have all of them going up to the wall, getting prepared. We have Euron Greyjoy and his scorpions. We have the people of King's Landing being allowed into the Red Keep, but then the gates closed on a lot of them. I guess they were like, well, that's enough people, so we can't fit you all. And in that moment, we do see the little girl, or a little girl. I didn't have a chance to go back and watch it again to see if it was the same little girl, but I thought it was. So let me know in the comments below. But we also see that Jaime has made it in to King's Landing. We see the Hound and Arya have made it in. Jaime takes off his glove, revealing his golden hand. Why? I don't know. I mean, that's a way to draw attention to yourself, that's for sure. So I was like, you should maybe stay a little hidden. Especially because, you know, things between you and Cersei didn't end very well, so maybe you may want to lay low. But okay, cool. So then we have that moment from the trailer that we all saw of Euron Greyjoy, you know, shielding his eyes, looking up to the sky like a dragon was about to come for him. We finally get this moment. Drogon on Dany just dive bombing them and takes out the entire Iron Fleet in about 10 seconds. Euron Greyjoy was like the best shot with those scorpions last week and took out Rhaegal in about 2 seconds. Like 3 hits on Rhaegal. Not one hits Drogon or Dany at all. And she literally takes out all of the Iron Fleet and all of the scorpions. Did it look cool? Yes. Did it make sense? No. I feel like that is just the motto of season 8 of Game of Thrones. Does it look cool? Yeah, it looks really cool. But does it make sense? Nah, but it looks cool. Okay. But wait, there's more. So then, Dany proceeds to, after she's taken out the Iron Fleet, proceeds to take out the scorpions along part of the wall of King's Landing and busts her way through the front gate thing that they showed us last week. Busts through the wall, taking out like the little tiny army that Cersei had out in front, the very, very front lines. Dany and Drogon just come barreling through. Looked really cool, not gonna lie. Really fun. I was like, yeah, that's awesome. But then I was like, wow, Dany just took out all the scorpions and busted through that front wall. She didn't need an army. She didn't even need 3 dragons. She could just do it all by herself with 1 dragon. She didn't need this. We spent seasons building up her army. Nah, she didn't even need that. And now that this front gate is blown off, the Dothraki can go in, and the Unsullied and basically all of Dany's army can just waltz right on in to King's Landing. And that was pretty cool. I mean, all the fire stuff was cool. It was awesome watching Drogon burn everything to the ground, but I don't know how much sense that made. Looked cool. Did it make sense? No. I did like Cersei standing up there and she's like, well, what about the Iron Fleet? We have Euron Greyjoy in the Iron Fleet. He's like, nope, that's gone. And see down there? Yeah, they're making their way in toward the Red Keep. She's like not really flinching yet, which is interesting. I mean, I guess typical Cersei. Then we actually get a really cool moment between Dany's army. They come face to face with the army in King's Landing, and they're basically guarding the Red Keep, at least the gate to the Red Keep. They're facing off, and I'm thinking, cool, they need to surrender now, and they do. Cersei's army throws down their swords, and I'm like, oh, finally some logic. Coming out of King's Landing, great, cool. I wasn't expecting it, but that was cool. That would actually be really awesome. Because in my mind, I was like, great, if they walk on in there and they take Cersei hostage, like I want to know what that's gonna be like. We're waiting for the bells to ring. And in that moment, I'm like, well, where's Jaime? Because he couldn't get into the Red Keep, so he had to go around to the back way, and I totally thought that he was going to be the one to go ring the bell. Like, I thought he was beelining for the bell and not really going back for Cersei, which would have made sense in that moment, because they don't know that Cersei didn't call a surrender. If that bell rings, the bell rings and the gate's open. So we're all anxiously waiting for the bells to ring. And then they do. Huzzah! Great! We surrender. Cool. So now, completely makes sense that Daenerys just decides, no, a surrender isn't what I want. I want to kill all the innocent women and children of King's Landing. Just because. And she sets out on Drogon and destroys all of King's Landing and all the innocent people in King's Landing, because that makes sense. Oh, and then on top of that, Dany's army, including the men who are very loyal to Jon, just decide, cool, well, we're just gonna like loot and ransack the city now because she's doing it, so we're gonna do it too. Grey Worm kind of started it, so I put the blame on Grey Worm there, but the Northern men did not have to do that. And it was really weird. Even Jon was like, no, stop it, stop it. No one was listening to Jon? That's weird. That is super weird to me. So then we cut away and we have Jaime. He basically makes it to this little back entrance that he was gonna go try to rescue Cersei. And we outwalks Euron Greyjoy from the ocean. He's fine. He's fine. He washes up on shore and he's like, haha, Jaime Lannister, you gonna kill another king? And Jaime's like, you're no king, blah, blah, blah. We're dudes and we're gonna fight each other so that we can prove who's more of a dude. And it was stupid. I'm like, well, why? Why can't they just both go rescue Cersei? Like, you're no king if you don't have Cersei. You haven't married her yet. Go protect your baby. No, instead he wanted to fight Jaime. So dumb. That makes no sense for these characters. I mean, especially in that moment, but hey, whatever. So Euron Greyjoy stabs Jaime twice. Jaime finally bests Euron Greyjoy, and the final thing Euron Greyjoy says before he dies is, "I'm the man who killed Jaime Lannister." Okay. Then we do get a cool moment between Arya and the Hound, which I really liked because they're now like inside of the castle. They're getting really close to finding Cersei, and the Hound tells Arya, "If you go any further, you're going to die. Like, you don't want to become me. I have had this revenge plot in my head for years. You don't want to be that. Don't do it. Turn back." And I'm happy in that moment she listened to him. I thought that was a really good moment for Arya because it was nice to kind of see what she could become and choose not to be that way. So I'm happy she didn't just march on to her death because the Hound was right. So now we get the confrontation we've been waiting seasons for, Clegane Bowl. Daenerys has now completely ripped the roof off of the place. Like, everything is coming crashing down. The mountain is there with Cersei and they want to face off, and Cersei's just like, "You will protect your queen," and the mountain's like, "Screw you, I'm handling this." And I literally laughed out loud when Cersei was just like, "Okay, I'm just gonna go now," and just like tiptoes around them. That was really funny. I liked that, actually. I thought it was hilarious. And then we get Clegane Bowl, and it was an interesting battle. A lot of it was them missing each other and hitting the walls, but what they did do was pretty cool. We had a moment where I thought the mountain was gonna kill the Hound just like he killed Oberyn, and I was like, why are you doing that again? We've already seen that. But the Hound got out of that and stabbed him through the eye, which was really cool. And, you know, fast forwarding to the end of this battle, the Hound realized that the both of them were never gonna get out of there, and the only way to take out the mountain was to push him and go with him. And they did. And they died. They plummeted from the tower and they fell into the fire. Fire. I get it. Meanwhile, Cersei is all frightened and shocked, and she's trying to find her way out, I guess. Runs into Jaime. Nice moment between the two of them. At every second I was like, okay, Jaime, kill her. Kill her, Jaime, kill her. He doesn't. And he's gonna try to help her out of there. And then we get really cool moments of Arya, who is just trying to get out of there. She gets trampled at one point, only to be saved by the woman and child that we saw previously. And in that moment I was like, wait a sec, could that be Jaqen H'ghar? Because that'd be really, really cool if he's like there and saves Arya. Like, why are we seeing this woman and the kids so many times if they weren't anyone important? So then Arya gets hit by things and then wakes up from things and gets hit by things. This happened quite a lot throughout the end of the episode. And Arya's like, we're all gonna get out of here, follow me. They all do. They all die. Didn't really work out for Arya. And then at the very end with Arya, she wakes up, she's completely covered in soot, and she sees a white horse just chilling there, just chilling. And she gets up and it's like this slow moment. It's like the same moment of Jon like touching the dragon for the first time, or Tyrion touching the dragon. She's like touching this horse or trying to get it. I guess in her mind she's like, don't run away because you could be my way out of here. I just didn't understand what that was supposed to symbolize for Arya. If it was decked out in Winterfell armor or something and she could see the direwolf on there and realize that like, I have to live for family, this is my way out. I don't know, maybe for her it was just her way to survive, to get out of there. She was injured. It's faster to go on horseback than on foot. Makes sense. I just kind of wish that moment meant something in this world for Arya. I don't really know. But the last shot of Arya is her riding that horse on out of King's Landing, presumably alive. So then our moments of Jaime and Cersei. They make it to the passage where they're supposed to escape from. It's completely collapsed and caved in. I was like, Jaime, start digging, but there's no way that they were getting out of there. Cersei had a really nice breakdown. I want to say that it was really nice only because Lena Headey is such a great actress, and it was nice to see that moment. I also think it was nice to see Cersei worried for once and actually caring about the last thing she has, which is her unborn baby. She says to him like, you can't let me die. We cannot let this baby die. And I liked that moment. I thought that was really nice for both of them. I totally thought still, Jaime has to betray her. This is it. This is the moment. And they die by cave-in, or are presumed dead by cave-in, and they died together. So why did we even have a backstory moment of her being told her prophecy? What is the point of that? Why even show it if you're not going to like fulfill it in the end? Why? I don't get it. It was so frustrating to me. We've known from the beginning she was going to be betrayed and ultimately killed by one of her brothers, or that would lead to her death. She always thought it was Tyrion, which led me to believe that it was going to be Jaime instead. And I thought Jaime was going to King's Landing to kill Cersei, but no, he wasn't. He was there to die in a cave-in with her, I guess. Presumably. We don't know for sure if they're dead. I just wanted Cersei to have a better death. It felt like a really cheap death for Cersei after all of these years, after all of her evil horribleness. She didn't get a cool death. Like, she just got to go out with Jaime in a cave-in. I mean, I hope she's alive next week. I hope. I really didn't like the way that this journey played out for Cersei and Jaime. And I am absolutely despising the way they're handling Dany. They're literally ruining these characters. I'm especially mad that D&D in an interview said that they just wanted to end the show. They were done doing it. They wanted to wrap up the story. HBO said, no, keep making more Game of Thrones. And they're like, no, we're good. That's frustrating to me because this is what we're left with. You know, I feel personally attached to this show. I've been watching it from the beginning. I was a book reader before the show started, and this show meant so much to me over the past 10 years. And to kind of see it go out this way is super, super sad and disappointing. It really just makes no sense to me to do this whole bit with Dany and then her just losing her mind in the final season. I get it. Yes, you can look at things from previous seasons and go, oh, well, that's a trigger. That's gonna lead to her being the Mad Queen. Like, cool, that makes sense. But she's made mistakes in the past and she usually learns from them to move forward. She's never been just filled with hatred and doing things, I don't know. I mean, she said it to Jon, if it's not love, it's fear. So I don't know. You really can't justify her actions in this. I feel like they've just ruined this character and I'm really disappointed by it. And I said from the beginning I knew Dany was gonna die because I had a feeling that Jon would be the rightful heir, but he'll give it to Sansa, who will be a better leader than he will be, and he can do something else. At this point, I think Jon's just gonna kill Dany because he has to and be the king, I guess. I'm so bummed. I'm so bummed with the wrap up of this show. It's so rushed. A lot of it doesn't make sense. A lot of it looks cool, but does it make sense? No. So it really breaks my heart to be this critical of a show that I have loved for so long. But I can't lie about my feelings. This whole season is lacking reason and story, and some of these characters are not acting in the way that these characters would be acting. It's just my opinion. There's only one episode left. I feel like there's no room to even give predictions or theories at this point because none of them's gonna happen. This is just gonna get wrapped up and we're just gonna have to deal with it. This is the end and it sucks. It really sucks. I didn't want it to go out like this, so that's a bummer. But I really want to hear what you guys thought. Like I said, there were some good things. If there's things that you liked, write them down below. But I ultimately want to hear your thoughts on this episode. So let me know what you thought in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. There's only one episode left, and I'm really looking forward to sharing my thoughts on it. Hopefully it'll be a little redeeming, but I don't know. I'll still remain optimistic and positive. And if you happen to miss any of my other recaps or just want to watch some of my other Game of Thrones videos, you can click right on up here. I'll see you guys next week for the last episode ever of Game of Thrones.